that stress down is by truly understanding where we're at in the market and which cycle we're in. So I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm just going to take the first one. I'm just going to lob a softball to myself. You're listening, you own a house, right? You're not necessarily wanting to go buy 20 houses tomorrow. You're not necessarily wanting to go buy a quadplex. You own a house, you live there, it provides shelter for you and your family. And you're like, where are we at in the market? Should I sell? Should I not sell? I'll give my opinion, David, and then certainly give yours. I think that right now, if you are a homeowner and you own a house and you're just trying to determine what's the next like strategic move, I think we're in kind of like the 8th to the 9th inning. I think we're kind of at the top of the market right now. If you own it and you're living there and you're not, and it's a very passive type thing, I don't think it's that big of a deal for you to throw it out on the market right now and see if you can get kind of like top dollar for it. Do I think that you can push the market right now? No. I think that things are slowing down, and it's going to be, you may have to give up more things. You may have to end up putting that new roof on that you've been delaying. So I'll throw it over to you. I think we're in the 8th or 9th inning. Again, I could be totally wrong, but this is just data that I've seen. I've been in the markets buying since 2006. So that gives me 17, 18 years of buying. I think we're in the 8th or 9th inning. David, where do you think? Someone owns a house that's listening to this right now. They're not looking to take over the world. They've got a great job. Where are you at on this?
My take is keep on living in it. If you want to move. If you don't want to move, your personal circumstances will dictate that. But rents have risen quite a lot over the last few years. And while they're softening a little bit, it's probably nowhere close to what you're paying in your mortgage payment. So if you're out there and you've got a mortgage payment of $2,000 a month or $2,200 a month or something like that for a 4-bedroom house, I would say straight away, let's say you believe we're at the top of a market and you've got a lot of equity and you want to get your hands on that. I think there's a number of factors. Number one, go look at what it would cost you to rent your house. And if that differential is $1,000 a month, as in, okay, I pay $23 a month now, and if I sell my house, I'm going to have to pay $33 a month. And well, then, you got to ask yourself, do you want to go through all of the stress of selling your house to pay $3,300 a month? And, I also have this construct, that once you sell something in a market, you throw yourself into the unknown in that you're no longer on that market. So you might say, okay, remember in a previous podcast, we said we know nothing about the future, Clark? Remember that? Well, you might think, okay, we're at the top of the market. David and Clark said we were at the top of the market, right? So you're going to sell your house. You think you're going to be able to, let's say, buy your own house back or a similar house cheaper in the future. So you're going to sell now. You're going to bank the profits. You're going to rent for a while and then come back in and upgrade your house, a year from now. Well, that could happen. But also what could happen is the government could lower rates early next year or late this year, and you sell your house. It's not a great time to sell your house. Inventory is kind of creeping up. But you could come in, sell your house, you grab all that equity. You've got $150,000 of equity sitting in your bank account. I say, okay, cool. I'm ready to deploy that when house prices fall. Well, let's game that out. What if they don't fall? What if the government, or the Fed reduce interest rates and they start rising again? Now you're chasing your house. I saw this happen to a friend of mine not so long ago. What if rents start rising again and that $3,300 a month rent is $3,500 next year? What if the lenders go through and this is possible. There's potentially, there's certainly an argument for the more regional banks that they may be in trouble. And so what if you can't get a loan a year from now? Or what if you lost your job or something happens with your particular financial situation and you say, well, all best intentions, I'm going to sell my house, I'll rent another one, and you lose your job and you're not financeable a year from now. So I think it's a pretty, if you're moving only to capture equity in a house, I've always thought that was a bit of that's fool's gold. In my view, I've seen too many people get caught out with it. I don't think it's a great strategy because you've got transactional costs, sales costs on your sell side. I think there's probably more risk than upside in doing that, but I can't speak for everybody. There's people out there, they need 100 grand, and that's where the 100 grand is. My advice ordinarily is try and get a HELOC, try and access the equity a different way rather than selling. At least then
Yeah,
you've still got an asset in the ground.
like
And
that.
if house prices go down, it doesn't matter, because the house that you are going to buy as well in the future is also going down. And so if you think you can arbitrage this timing where I'm going to sell at the top, I'm going to wait for a year, I think that there's a lot of fool's gold in that, Clark, if I'm honest.
You to summarize that is you have to get two things right to be able to take advantage of that. Number one, you have to sell it at the right time, right? So let's just pretend this was the right time to sell at the top, right? But then you have to turn around and you're going to take that equity and you're probably going to put some into the new property. So you have to buy it at the right time, right? So you have to sell, you have to catch lightning in a bottle, and then you have to catch lightning in a bottle again to buy
Yeah.
at the right time to get a slightly better, a nicer house and a nicer neighborhood. And oh, by the way, now your interest rate, you've got a better interest rate right now, whenever you bought it 3 years ago, 2 years ago, it doesn't matter. So if I'm hearing you, what I think you're recommending, and certainly what I would recommend, is either just stay in it, right? Your taxes are not as high because the minute you go and buy something else, they're going to reset. So either stay in it, enjoy it, or stay in it. If you do what you just said, the rent in the neighborhood is $3,300. The mortgage payment's only $2,300. Great. There's $1,000 of gross equity every month of cash flow. Now take that and go buy something else on your own terms, right? We're in a little bit of a medium market. It's not quite a seller's or buyer's. So you can go to the next offer, make an offer on a house that you like and say, hey, listen, I'm going to buy it. However, I got to rent out this house first and put that in. You've got more leverage now. So use that leverage. So if I'm hearing you, it sounds like we both agree, don't sell that house and just either play chess by getting an equity line or saving up and buying another house. And then now you're growing your wealth by being able to get cash flow from property A. Now you got property B that's going to slowly start growing in it as well too. You good with that?
That's great. That's really great advice. That's